Oh, oh, viewers, together, strong is TVB. I am here today. My apologies. I know I'm late to this party, 10 days late, but Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes is finally here. The film that takes place many generations after the events of War for the Planet of the Apes back in 2017. It follows Noah. He's a chimp living in his village of other chimps. Then a whole bunch of bad gorillas show up. They're led by this cult leader named Proximus. These apes, they capture humans and they hunt humans and they hunt other apes as well as part of this grand vision, because humans back to a whole primitive state. And it really just goes it just takes where War for the Planet Apes went off, and it takes a franchise that is world reclaimed by super intelligent primates to the next level. And this was one of my most anticipated movies of 2024, and like many other people's. And I gotta say, I was not disappointed by Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes. First off, the film is absolutely stunning. The CGI, the cinematography. I'm really glad I got to, even though I didn't get to see it opening night or the first discount Tuesday after its opening night. I'm so glad that we saw this movie in theaters, because you have to experience this film on the big screen. Probably gonna receive an Oscar nomination for Best Visual Effects, considering all its predecessors did. I hope it does, at least. Even though there's no Andy Serkis in this film this time, the motion capture performances are still very superb. Noah, he's a lead, he's a protagonist, he's the chimp, he's the boss, he's going on this adventure to save his people, and then he encounters Raka, an orangutan, and Raka is my favorite character in the entire film. They have some really great chemistry, as well as the human character named May, and she's, again, humans are a lot more primitive in this world, years and years after the events of War for the Planet, because humans destroy the Earth and nature has been punishing them for their arrogance and whatnot. Their dynamic was the best part of the entire film. When Proximus is on screen, he's a very engaging villain, and it's this film definitely succeeded in humanizing characters that weren't even human in the first place. The anthropomorphization. William H. Macy is in this movie too, and his character is really interesting, but every time I see that actor on screen, all I can think is Mr. Kirby from Jurassic Park 3. I will say this about Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes, the pacing is very, the story tries to be multiple things at once, and the pacing is, because War for the Planet of the Apes, I remember that movie being quite the slow burner. And yeah, this film, it's pacing, Kingdom is, the pacing is faster than Wars, but not as fast as Rise of the Planet of the Apes or Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which I think kind of works both in the film's favor and not so much, because in the middle of the movie, without spoiling it, of course, something happens. I'm like, what the heck? Was that necessary? Why'd they do that? And there's things that happen that, the beginning of the film is very, it's very gripping and intense, and it's I was, on the edge of my seat, and I was like, oh no, bite my nails, and, during the middle of the film, I was not gonna lie, I was kind of zoning out a little bit, but things get better at the end, which, again, is a similar issue that War for the Planet of the Apes had, is that's sort of the valley effect. But for what it's worth, I remember being really satisfied by the way War for the Planet of the Apes ended back in 2017. I was like, okay, if they end the film as a trilogy, as a franchise right here, that's great. But if they decide to go for a fourth franchise, that's great too. One thing I really want to see this franchise do next, assuming there's going to be a fifth film, personally, I would be very excited for a fifth film in this rebooted Planet Apes franchise, following the events of Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes. Especially with, I'm not spoiling it, but, the way the film ends, I'm very interested. I'm very engaged to see, where it goes from here. But I honestly would be a lot more interested about, a prequel / spin-off set between the events of War for the Planet of the Apes and Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes, showcasing how all these different ape, societies developed, and how humanity's society just crumbling, because throughout the film you see it's really obvious that the trees and the vines, the plants that the apes are climbing and swinging around on are really just overgrowing what were once human structures, buildings and skyscrapers and baseball fields and stuff like that. I would be psyched for a fifth, like, just following this film, but I would be even more excited for a prequel like set like that. I would be most excited for both, and that's good. Very good indeed. Big thumbs up. I'm giving Kingdom for the Planet of the Apes a 7 out of 9 stars. It's a really likable film. Also, I love how Raka's name rhymes with Baka. When I was at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, my ARV one intern, myself, I can't speak tonight, my apologies. Myself and my other ARV1 intern, we went to the orangutan exhibit for one afternoon, and I got to feed Baka, the Sumatran orangutan, through the mesh and whatnot, and that was such a cool experience, the orangutan exhibit. It's like Raka's name in this movie rhymes with Baka from the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo, and also right after that internship ended, I spent a lot of time observing chimp training at the Riverside Discovery Center during my internship there in Nebraska for 12 weeks. After both those experiences, just seeing how ludicrously smart those chimps and orangutans and gorillas are, I really don't think the premise of the Planet of the Apes movies is really all that far-fetched. Just saying. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this movie review. If you enjoy it, hit the thumbs up like button, please, and throw me a banana by subscribing. Stay beastly.